What's up guys, Intellitech Mobile here, and today we'll be doing a drop test of the LG V20. I didn't want to do a drop test on this, but this particular one is dead. The screen is completely gone out, and yeah, which sucks because it's in mint condition. I spent a lot of money on this. So, hopefully, since I can't use this and it's not worth fixing anyways, let's at least see how the durability is for LG's last phone without a glass back. So, we're going to do several drops from many different angles. Starting off with knee height on the back. 3, 2, 1. Whew. Back panel popped off, as you'd pretty much expect. Of course, this is concrete, and trying to get this back panel back on with one hand is a bit of a process. Really difficult. Does not want to go back on a lot of the times. And just from that one little drop, it's very loose. It doesn't want to go back on. But if we look at the damage, there is a small scratch right there on that top corner. Another little scratch down there. It's all on the actual back panel itself. None of it has seemed to made it to the actual bezel. So that's fine. If it really bothered you, you could just replace the back. So camera lens is unharmed. So, now we'll do the same drop from waist height on the back in 3, 2, 1. Whew. That was quite the flop. And we can see, yet again, the back panel decided to jump off of the device. Again, does not really want to go back on properly. Oops, don't want to scratch it. But the camera lens is okay, and otherwise just a few more scrapes on the back, nothing too major, not much to complain about. Again, this, I don't know if it bent from that drop and that's why the back panel isn't going on. It's entirely possible because it's not wanting to click back in, but it is still physically okay. But you can see that button is unclicked, so for whatever reason it doesn't want to slide back on, which means it's going to pop off a lot more. This time you do have a scuff on the actual top bezel. Alright, now we'll do a chest height drop onto the back in 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was a very flat drop. Oh, and there goes your camera lens. So again, this back panel really wanted to pop off. That time it didn't. Wow, so this camera lens survived. So this is the worst shattering I've ever seen on a camera lens without the glass actually falling out, which is pretty interesting. So every single surface of the camera lens shattered, yet it is all still intact as far as it being all in the foam. There's no chunks falling out. So unfortunately, on your main lens right there, you've got a lot of cracked glass over both of your lenses. So yeah, no good pictures after that, unfortunately, which sucks. But hey, for the sake of consistency, we are still going to drop it from head height on the back. So head height, rear impact in 3, 2, 1. Oh, wow. What? I am speechless. We haven't even dropped it on the front yet, and the front is already shattered. Wow. That's insane. I was not expecting that at all. So, back impact. Do not drop your phone on a phone call, because even if it lands flat on the back, furthest away from the screen is still going to shatter. Wow. I was not expecting that. That sucks, man. Yeah, so we have a shattered display as a result of a backdrop. Ooh, and there is some glass jutting out right here. Your front-facing camera experience is also ruined. So yeah, this is kind of the problem with aluminum, is that aluminum does not disperse shock very well as opposed to plastic. As much As much as people like to rag on plastic, plastic absorbs impacts, whereas metal physically cannot absorb the impact. So all that energy goes through the metal, and in this case, it went through the metal, went through the motherboard, and through to the screen on the other side. And now we have a shattered display, which is not good. There is no reason why the display should be shattered before we even drop it on the display. So that's really unfortunate. It seems like the V20 is not as tough as I was hoping. This appears to be a genuine LG screen, and yet it's shattered. So that's not fun at all. And I would be very upset if this was my phone and it shattered from a backdrop. So yeah, not only is your camera experience ruined, it's ruined on both sides, and you have a shattered screen just from a backdrop. Now granted, a head height backdrop, dropped from a 6-foot tall man, but still, that's not very pleasant. So yeah, that really stole the show right there. We're still going to keep dropping this, but that's disappointing. So yeah. So if you literally have one bad day where you're using this without a case and it slips out of your hand while you're on a phone call and it lands on the back, then your entire phone is going to be broken. Not only is the camera lens going to be shattered, but the front screen is going to be shattered as well. So yeah, very disappointed. Again, I don't mean to harp on this, but I'm speechless. That's ridiculous. I was fully expecting the V20 to be the most durable phone that I've tested so far, and unfortunately it seems like it's the weakest. It's the first one to have the camera lens shattered. Yes, there's no glass on the back, but the camera lens shattered before any other phone, and I'd rather have a broken back than a broken camera lens. And the front shattered, which nobody is going to argue that they would rather have a shattered front than a glass back that cracks. Although, again, the removable battery is nice, but what we learned with the Note 3 and Note 4 is that plastic can, in fact, work in that instance and still provide wireless charging, unlike metal. So yeah, enough about that. We've already done all the backdrops. We haven't even gotten to the face down drops yet. We're going to do the drops on the bottom and on the top from all 4 heights. So knee height drop on the bottom in 3, 2, 1. Of course, that tiny little drop caused the back panel to pop off, and yeah, that's disappointing. So if we look at the bottom, so we can see there isn't much. There is almost no sign of an impact. So there's a couple little scratches, but you could be forgiven for not even believing that those came from the drop. So yeah, survive that with flying colors. Now let's do waist height, like you pull it out of your pocket and it falls straight down. I know a lot of people, now I personally put my phone in my pocket like this, facing this way, so it'd be more likely to fall on the top. But if it flipped the other way, maybe if this had a headphone jack on the top, that'd be the only way it'd be like that. But anyways, my fly's down, Jesus. Okay, so we're gonna drop this on the bottom from waist height in 3, 2, 1. That back panel just will not stay on for whatever reason. Alright, let's look at the damage. Okay, we got a little scrape, a little dent right there. So we do have a dent from a waist height drop on that aluminum border. In fact, I'm not sure if this part's aluminum or plastic. Either way, whatever it is, it's dented. So, but that's fairly typical. That's not, any less or more durable than other phones. Usually a phone drop on a corner from that height is going to have a dent like that. Unless it's stainless steel or something. So yeah, there's that. Now we'll do the same thing, but like it's pulling it out of my pocket, and it drops straight down on the top in 3, 2, 1. Again, we're seeing the symptom of the back popping off, and that metal sound is not very pleasant. So, okay, looking at the top, if we focus on it, you can see there's an identical dent on the top, and now we can see there is some shifting in the housing, and as a result the back does not want to go on all the way. In fact, it's so loose on this that it's not letting my Note 9 focus on this. So we can see the dent right there, right on that top corner. Come on, focus. It's very cold out here. I'm trying to make this quick. And it looks like we got another crack on the screen, which is not good. So, oh, I just realized I did this wrong. I wasn't supposed to do the bottom. I was supposed to do all the bottom drops and all the top drops. Okay, whatever. Well, so now we'll go back down to the bottom drops, and we'll do a bottom drop from... What did I just do? Okay, I just did it from knee and waist height. So now we got to do the bottom drop from chest height. So chest height on the bottom, like you're texting, and it falls straight down on the bottom. In 3, 2, 1. It does the same thing every time. It flops over. It flops over, and as a result, just the back flies right off. Because just the first drop made this not click in anymore. You can see that button right there where it's supposed to click in, and it will not click in anymore. So not only will this not click in, this corner is really sharp as a result, because it won't push in all the way, no matter how hard I squeeze it. And we can see some more separating right there. That is not good. That looks very ugly. So, very unfortunate. Let's do the damage. Okay. Come on, autofocus. Why aren't you focusing? Come on, focus. Okay, we got... Okay, I'm not seeing a whole lot. Even though that should be a bigger impact than the waist height, it doesn't look like it was. So there's a little scrape right there. Actually, I think that's where it hit. That's why this is dented in, because that's pushed right on, and I think that is plastic. But again, don't quote me on that. So, disappointing. Now your back is not seamless anymore, and there's a sharp edge right here. Very uncomfortable to hold. I would not want to hold this. That's metal. That would actually cut your hand open. So, that's a safety hazard right there. So, not good. Definitely use a case with this phone. Use a case if for no other reason than so that way if you do drop it, that it doesn't pop the battery in the back out and end your phone call. So, anyways, now we're going to do the bottom drop from head height. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, that one tried to attack me. Oh, we can see a nasty dent right there. And that really scraped that up. But surprisingly, I fully expected this to get pushed into the glass and crack it, but that has not happened yet. So I guess good on that. I guess that military standard 810G rating that this had is good for something, I guess. But clearly not anything that most people would consider relevant on this phone, because the screen cracked very easily, at least in my test. And this is a fairly smooth concrete. If you were going to drop your phone outside, this would be ideal. Well, no, pavement would be ideal conditions, like a blacktop. But this is the next best, because it's a completely smooth concrete. There's no pits or jagged edges or rocks. There's still pits, but there's not anything protruding that would directly impact the glass in a way that would pinpoint crack it. You get what I'm saying. So yeah, we just did all the drops on the bottom, so now we'll do the rest of the drops on the top. So I did the top drop from knee height, but I didn't do it from waist height, I don't think. Or did I? Let me look at the phone. Yeah, no, I think I did. I did do it from... Yeah, whatever, we'll do it again. So, did knee height on the top. We'll do waist height on the top. Oh, that almost held together, but just barely didn't. And of course, it's freezing outside, so touching this metal is not very safe. Another reason to not like all metal phones. And I think me pushing that on just cracked the screen more. Okay, no it didn't, thankfully. So we can see right there, there's that impact, that big scratch on that top corner. And in that case, we do have a small crack, but I don't think that was really affected all that much by it. So now we'll do a chest height drop onto the top. 3, 2, 1. Okay, well that didn't quite hold together. That time the battery popped out. And we can see a dent right up there, right on that edge. Again, sorry, this is not focusing. So got the battery right here. And we got our back panel that will not stay on to save its life, literally. Again, I'm not trying to scratch this up. I'm just trying to put this on. But I probably am scratching it up in the process. Whatever, who cares? Okay, so now that we did chest height from the top, we're going to do head height on the top. So like you're on your phone and it flips over when you drop it and lands flat on the top. In 3, 2, 1. This phone. This phone. Okay. So you can see right there a little bit of, we actually do have a chunk of glass that was pushed out as a result of the impact on this top corner. You can see all the scrapes right there. Again, it's very faint. There you can see it. So not much. So yeah. So now we have no choice but to drop it on the screen. So again, this is what the screen looks like. It's pretty cracked. I don't want to turn on the phone because this display flickers a lot, and I do not want to trigger anybody's epilepsy. But this has the flickering problem that a lot of LG phones have, and it actually is the display. So it's not a software bug. So we're going to drop it from knee height onto the screen in 3, 2, 1. Even that small of a drop can't possibly keep that back from popping off. Okay, nothing happened. It was a small enough drop that it didn't cause any issues with the glass. But again, this back is bent and not wanting to go on properly, which is not good. Okay, so now drop from waist height onto the front. And okay, well, very slippery phone. So I don't know how that landed. That was not obviously intended. There's a bonus drop right there. Okay. So it looks like that. Oh, okay. No, the cracks didn't get any bigger. Okay. So looks like it just dented right there from that drop. All right. Now here's the proper waist height drop onto the face in 3, 2, 1. Again, this stupid back. I almost want to just leave this off here. But it is part of the phone, so... And, yep, okay, so waist height drop now, the bottom is shattered. And there are actually pieces of glass jutting out, which is not fun. This is a horrible phone, unfortunately, which sucks, because I really liked this when it was new. Durability-wise, though, clearly not trustworthy. And this phone has not had a lot of use, so it's not like it's been scratched up and worn out as a result. So, yeah, it's not good. Alright, chest height drop, face down. We're going to watch the glass shatter and the back pop off again. So 3, 2, 1. Oh. For some reason, the chest height drops that I always do, the phones always straighten out and land perfectly flat, and that always shatters the display. And yep, this is no exception. So we've got just a completely destroyed screen, shattering all over. Not pleasant at all. And again, this back panel is not wanting to stay on. Very disappointing. Okay. So, now we're going to do head height. So, head height, face down. Just for kicks, it's obviously already dead. In 3, 2, 1. That was really dramatic. I could hear that sound ripple through. Yeah, what a shock. We now have chunks of glass sticking out. This is actively dangerous at this point, which is unfortunate. So, epileptic warning right now. We are going to turn this on and see how the screen behaviors are behaving. Oh, God. Stupid thing. This back does not want to stay on. Yeah. So let's see what this does. Okay. So the LCD is still semi-functional. I don't know why there's soap out here. Don't tell me it's just going to randomly start working after I just smashed it. Okay, well, there we can see the LG V20 is thoroughly cracked, although the phone is still functional. It is, in fact, responding to touch. The display has not started flickering like it was before whenever I decided to do this drop test. So randomly the display is not flickering anymore, which is annoying. Would have been nice if it did this when it had actually not been dropped, but yeah. So as of now, it seems that it's been shocked back into working condition for the most part. Sorry, we didn't have the camera pointed at that. It's very cold. So, yeah. There is... Okay. Again, it's still responding. Which, again, is odd, because it was not doing that prior. Let's see what the camera looks like, now that camera is thoroughly shattered. Oh yeah, that camera is a blurry mess, as you'd expect. Yep. Alright, well, let's flip this around to the front-facing camera. Okay, that actually doesn't look too bad. Probably because all the glass is shattered out of the way, which I just noticed, so the camera's probably even clearer than if it had the glass on it. Hi guys. So yeah, that is the LG V20 just mysteriously working after I broke it. Which, yeah, okay, well that's great. Thank you, LG, for deciding to work after you've been broken. Almost like it's sentient and it knows the pain it has caused me. Anyways, so this is Intellitech Mobile signing out with a drop test of the LG V20. My fingers are very cold. I'm going to go inside before I get hypothermia. So that is that. And again, this thing isn't... Why it's just randomly not flickering anymore. Okay, well, it was flickering when I turned it on and before I did this, so I guess it just randomly stopped flickering. Okay, well, I wasted my money several times over on this thing. So yeah, this is Intellitech Mobile signing out with my drop test of the LG V20. This thing, the internals are very resilient, but the externals are not as resilient as you would have hoped for an all-metal phone with a military A10G standard or whatever it's called. So yeah, LG V20 could be better. But yeah, you know, for the last mainstream flagship with a swappable battery and an IR blaster, you know, what are you going to do? So yeah, this is Intellitech Mobile signing out with a drop test of the LG V20. See you guys in the next video, and I hope you all have a good one. Peace.